What's your financial freedom number? How much cash flow do you have to be making per month to provide for your lifestyle? Listen, recently, Stop and Shop, which is a huge food chain in the New England area, with over 240 stores, had 31,000 employees all go on strike. Why? Because Stop and Shop had decided to cut benefits, they cut pensions, and they cut wages. So my question to you is, do you have enough cash flow coming in to say deuces to your employer? Well, in today's video, we're gonna get to that financial freedom number, put it on paper, and give you a 5-year plan so you can figure it out. Come on to the whiteboard. All right, so once again, I'm back at the whiteboard, and listen, it's not any complicated equation, it's not any complicated formula, it's just something that if you put thought into, it'll help you visualize that goal and what you need to get done in order to reach that financial freedom number. So I broke down pretty much typical living expenses. Now again, this is just an example, but you want to make sure that you're very detailed when you're listing all your living expenses, okay? So these are all my living expenses, which is going to actually help me formulate that financial freedom number. And here's the equation, right? We want to have your rent or mortgage, whatever that may be. And if it's a mortgage, make sure you include your taxes and your insurance. We have a car note plus your car insurance. We have food, gas, cable memberships, gym memberships, cell phone, utilities, pocket money, debts, etc. Whatever you have, be real with yourself. Whatever you're paying for on a residual basis or you're paying for as part of your lifestyle, go ahead and put it on this board because you want to actually have all your numbers and all your expenses to formulate your financial freedom number. Okay, when you add all these numbers up here, for example, okay, we have $3,800 would be how much money I need every single month to support my lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. Whatever I'm paying every single month is my lifestyle. This is how much money I need to bring in. That's $3,800 per month. Now, you don't want to set yourself up like you're bringing in $3,800 as your income and your outcome is $3,800. You want to have a buffer in there. You want to give yourself a cushion. Formula that I actually used to leave my job, I multiplied it times 25%. So whatever my cash flow that I needed to acquire, which was $3,800 per month, I went ahead and multiplied that by 25%. And for this example, it's about $940, but I rounded up to $1,000, okay? So now, you add $1,000 in extra money on top of what you actually need, that is $4,800 a month. So my financial freedom number is gonna be $4,800 a month. Now, you don't have to get that in one crack. It's not like, okay, I need to figure out now how am I gonna make an extra $5,000 a month so I can leave my job. Put it in a plan, okay? When you sign up for a job, whether you know it or not, a lot of these jobs are like 30-year positions. You work these jobs for 30 years, you retire, 401k, pension, and whatnot. But I invite you to make a 5-year plan, okay? We want to accumulate $4,800 per month in cash flow over 5 years, okay? And keep in mind, this is very attainable. When I put this plan together, I was able to leave my job in just 2 years. Okay, so I put 5 years because maybe you have more going on, you know, maybe you're at a different point in your journey where you're starting off. 5-year plan, and maybe you have a 10-year plan. Either way, you have a plan that doesn't require 30 years of your life to a job. So you don't have to get $4,800 all at once. Break it up, give yourself a goal, give yourself some targets, right? So let's break it up into a 5-year plan. Year 1, $900. Year 2, $1,200. Year 3, $1,000. Year 4, $700. Year 5, $1,200. After 5 years, this will equal $5,000 a month, which gives you an extra $200 per month, which means at this point, you reach your financial freedom number. So if your job comes around and says, hey, listen, we're cutting benefits, we're cutting pay, we're cutting pension, you can say, deuces, I'm now gonna leave my job because I have enough cash flow coming in, and I'm gonna pretty much spend my other 40 hours a week that I was dedicating to you into doubling my current cash flow from 5,000 to 10,000, and you keep on going. Now, the beautiful thing about this formula is that once you really understand where your money's coming in and you reach this goal, And 5 years from now, or less, if you're really on it, what's going to happen is you're going to have $5,000 a month coming in. But you're going to say, I don't need my job anymore. I have enough money to pay my current living expenses, to maintain my current lifestyle with money left over. Now, if that's the case, you now can free up 40 hours a week that you were working at your job, plus traveling time. You can spend that time to really develop yourself. Spend that time on really doubling up, right? So you go from making $5,000 a month, now you're making $10,000 a month 10 years later. And you can pretty much take that additional money, add a savings account here, which you should do from the get-go, right? Add a savings account, funnel money into a savings account, and now you can actually increase your living expenses. You don't have to stay stuck to a $5,000 per month living style. You can actually expand that. And maybe you do want to keep your job, and your job treats you just fine. Honestly, that was my case, but I still wanted my time and I wanted the financial freedom. And that's why I followed my plan. Okay, so this right here was just pretty much giving you the idea of finding that financial freedom number so you can start thinking about it. Okay, and actually one book while we're on this that I absolutely love, it is the foundation to many other people as well, entrepreneurs, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Read that book not once, not twice, a couple times. And now that you have your financial freedom number in mind, now that you know you need to make $4,800 per month or whatever your number may be, and you start reading books like this, and you sit down and think, you'll find a way to think yourself into making $5,000 a month in passive income, even if it does take 5 years, right? And remember, okay, so it's so much mindset and so much know-how at the same time, but it's really coming down to just thinking. What happens is when you read books like this, it starts to program your mind, right? And you have goals like these to make passive income, to be able to be in a position where you don't need your job. If you love your job, that's fine, but you don't need your job. The question is, if you didn't have to do it, would you still do it? So another book that I consider a foundation to my journey is by T. Harv Eker, and the name of the book is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. When he talks about how programming, right, how when you read books like these, it starts to recondition, and program your mind that leads to thoughts. And now I'm telling you to get this number and to think about it. But see, when you get this number and you start thinking about it, that's called thoughts. Thoughts leads to feelings. Feelings leads to actions. Actions leads to results. Results is all you want. Listen, as an entrepreneur, give me results. I've already put together a formula. Now that you gave me the results, I can tweak that formula, whether the results are good or whether the results are bad. If the results are good, then I do more of the same. If the results are bad, then I tweak it. But ultimately, it's programming your mind, right? And reading books like these are programming your mind, and you're having thoughts of financial freedom, that leads to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. Actions lead to results. Results are all we're looking for. You love the company you work for and you want to spend 30 years there, trading your time for money, pouring money into a 401k, that's fine. But to me, you're giving your employer way too much leverage if you're not starting a side hustle outside of your job or working on bringing in passive income outside your job. Because if your job ever decides to make a decision like Stop and Shop and decide to just cut things, you need to make sure that you and your family and the legacy you're trying to build is protected. And you can do that by investing in real estate, investing in small businesses, having your own cash flow coming in on the side, so you're not just completely relying on one employee. So finding that financial freedom number and how much cash flow you need to be bringing in is really just the start. And just like anything, when you want to get somewhere, you have to first realize where you're starting from. So what we're starting from is that financial freedom number. Now that you know you're trying to accumulate a certain dollar per month in cash flow, that's a start. Okay, then you can like break it up to yourself in a 5-year plan. Okay, in year 1 I'm gonna do this, in year 2 I'm gonna do this, in year 3 I'm gonna do this. Your skill set and your strategies and how you're gonna acquire this may change. For myself, it was real estate. Through investing in real estate, in the buy and hold strategy, which is buying the properties, renting them and holding them out, it was a cash flow game. I was able to leave my job in just 2 years, which is why I know that if you put together this plan and you put it into a 5-year plan, you'll be able to do it as well. And by reading these books, I started reconditioning and programming my mind, right? Programming. What you see what you're around every single day, what you hear in the news or whatever it may be, whatever you see is what's programming you. You have to make sure that you're stepping outside of your current surroundings and finding the information that's going to recondition your mind, right? Like this book, Think and Grow Rich. Reading that book changed my paradigm. So it reprogrammed me. So it's programming leads to thoughts. Now, I started having thoughts of financial freedom. So now that I'm programming my mind and I'm starting to have these different thoughts, that started leaving the feelings. I started feeling like this is not enough. I have a corporate job. I have a 6-figure position. You know, I'm trading my time for money. I'm working in Boston. I'm doing 60 hours a week plus traffic. This is not going to be into it. So when I started having those feelings, then I started taking action. I started reading more. I started learning more. I started applying myself more. And from that point, when I started applying myself with the actions, came the results. And when you have results, you can always tweak those results. Now listen, having this financial freedom number and having financial freedom is something that I've always been passionate about. Don't give your employer that much leverage. It feels very good to know you can do what you want, go where you want, when you want, and have the freedom and the finances to afford it all. And in this channel, I'm trying to bring that lifestyle. I want that for you. Why? Because I want it for myself. And that's why I invite you to find your financial freedom number and never have the employer have that much leverage over you. You want to have some type of real estate portfolio on the side or some type of small business that, you know, maybe in 5 to 10 years you can work on rather than trading 30 years of your entire life when suddenly your pensions get cut. I hope that figuring out your financial freedom number and then breaking it up into a 5-year plan spark some interest and spark some thought in your mind, because listen, thoughts leads to feelings, feelings lead to actions, actions lead to results, results is what you want. You can always tweak them. I wish I made this up, but I did not. And I really hope that this video today brings you that much closer to seeking your financial freedom number and to seeking your financial freedom goal. Stick with me, we have a lot more videos to come. In next week's video, I'm gonna break down my second investment property that I purchased with no money out of pocket. Once again, that was my second property to fulfill my 5-year plan, which I got done in 2, and you can as well. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. And as always, I invite you, let's grow together.